computer, and I'll be surfing through how a new member should surf to get to where we're at. So let's see here. The next one is commercialism. But that commercialism is just merely my opinion, and basically all of this is my opinion and my temporary opinion at that too, until the console directs us more. But for now, we're gonna have to follow this template right here until we get a little bit more organized. So read all the laws. There's not going to be no religious test. And just for kicks, what I just also decided was to become an online minister, and the second video will include all that in there too. But anyway, this is one video of many that everybody's always going to have to see. And they'll be permanent and stationary on Facebook's swav page. Anyway, I guess I've covered everything I can cover, and see you in the second video. Oh. You tired? You tired? Why'd you tell? Not yet. Good song. Okay, this is video number 2. I still got pencil and paper. So please keep in mind to get your pencil and paper and write all these things down. And don't forget to also pause this video whenever you need to. Doing a little bit of research, I found out that the videos can only be about 10 to 15 minutes each. So there's going to be at least 3, 4, 5 videos, 10 to 15 minutes each. So anyway, we'll let you know. But it's a good song to start off this video with. Too much of heaven. Too much of heaven. You know, that's all people see sometimes. They can't see nothing past that. That's it. Sad. Very sad. You know. People can only plan as far as their next paycheck. Anyway, hopefully that's all they see is that paycheck. That's it. 2 weeks. That's as far as they can plan. Anyway, sooner or later, hopefully through this religious, spiritual passage, probably get to where we were at, thinking and considering our actions here and now as how they will have ramifications 7 generations down the road. So 7 generations, that's about 70 years each generation. That's about 400 or 500 years. Alright, anyway, I'm going to put this down. This is going to, guess what, 1 page. Condense it down to 1 page. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off real quick. And most of this is going to be my opinion. And my opinion based on the readings that we've done, the readings I've done in the past concerning with Glenn Wasson, Tecumseh, all the chiefs up to this point. that I am acknowledging. Back east, I don't know. There were some over there. Um, they all probably had the same message that we've been carrying here. But anyway, back to here and how it deals with commercialism. But first of all, let me finish off. After a little bit of thought and consideration, the council members, which me, Roger, Pat, what have you, I'm thinking maybe 2 to 3 times the minimum wage. Office personnel ought to be 1 to 2, heck, even 3 maybe, I don't know. And everybody will have a 1 lifetime membership fee, period. After that, there'll be a yearly fee to be in the co-op itself. You don't have to pay none of that if you're not going to be in the co-op, which is La Yerberia de Swav. But there has to be human beings, looking at you and them and what's going on here, and they're going from point A to point B, all that stuff. Anyway, real quick, commercialism. Here in America and most of your, I hate to say Christian nations out there, commercialism, it's what's in here, This is, when you see all these videos about cops beating up citizens, they're not beating up people, they're trying to take care of this right here, this corporate identity right there. And like I said before, there's a lot of this free man, sovereign man, everything going on. And like I said, there was people already living before the First Amendment was ever thought about. And sometimes you got to sit down and figure out what the system's all about. You have to identify that system. And I'm not saying that churches are bad. I'm not saying governments are bad. I'm saying the people behind them and how they interact with one another. The socialism there involved, the bureaucracy involved there. Identify that system and realize it. It's only a system that's ready to collapse right now. It's way overinflated, and it really has no foundation other than it scaring you into different areas. So it's desperately trying to survive. We'll hear a lot of court cases where people, you get on YouTube and why there's an influx of people getting beat up by cops. One case, there was an individual that got shot and killed in Arizona somewhere, right? And the family sued, and they got like $18-20 million. And a lot of you are going to stop and think there, but you're not going to think like a CPA and a politician. The politician and the CPA are going, wow, that's $18 million that's going to circulate in that economy. That's where it's at now, where people are willing to get killed and then they get sued. Then money comes out and goes right into the economy. That's that's where we are at now. Back in the old days, we wanted to get a shot in the arm in the economy. We'd lower the tax, or we increase the tax, or we'd open up a new market or something. But now where it's at is suing people and getting that money into the system now. And the reason the politician wants that $30 million to circulate is because state sales tax they'll get a chunk of that. Now imagine if the cop never did kill those people, they would never get that 30 million. And then they would never get that taxation. So that's not a productive member of society, and that's what happens to people that are not productive members of society. Think about it. What happens when there's no more ingredients to be a productive member anymore? Now you have become wrong, illegal, a ward like Indians were. You know, Indians were not a productive, none of us were back then were productive members of society because we didn't parlay with that society. So anyway, you'll see this commercialism all over the place. You know, you have all these governor. Each state has a governor, and they always have these balls and meetings and what have you. And the reason they all meet is so they can discuss the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code. And that's where a lot of this stems from, you know. Right here, here's one right here. Let me pull this out. I don't know if y'all can see it. This little symbol right there indicating that it's, let me find another one here that probably has a little bit better, let me see here. This one's probably better, it's black and white. But right there, it says Region 1. There's a Earth and a 1 on it. A lot of people don't know what that means. It's basically Region 1. That DVD will only play in a Region 1 DVD player. This is where it has gotten to. Back in the old days, you could get a record or an 8-track or a cassette, and you could put that cassette record in any player anywhere in the world, it would play. Now, that DVD will not play. If I take it with me to Europe, it will not play in those DVD players there. Why? Because now I either got to buy another movie there, or I got to buy a player. That sounds ridiculous, but that's where it's at now. You have to buy. So the tax can come down. Radio frequencies, they're all over the place. Okay? But why is it on a radio station it only goes from 88 to 104? That's for commercialism. So there can be radio stations, sell commercials and interact with the economy. And this thing stems back to, when you look at it and think about it, it goes right back to Bretton Woods Agreement. After World War II, you know, some mathematician made an empirical statement. No matter who's going to win the war, everybody loses because of the economy failing. So they had to make this economy survive. You'll see it all over the place. Commercial purpose only. There will be stickers that say that. Trucks that will say not for hire. On and on and on and on. And we get to see a lot of this with Native Americans and Indian reservations and how the difference. I'm bringing all this up because there's going to be a point of you and me engaging in how we engage in that. So anyway, I might as well just go right into it. All these acts that I'm bringing up forward to you are acts of Congress. They're federalism. Okay, some of you are not going to like it and blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know what to say about that. But I am coming from a federal point of view, while most of you, if you're not Native American, you're coming from a state point of view. And somehow we have to meet and engage. I am not going to get this and go into contract with you as a state individual. Because then these laws are secondary and not primary. I am inviting you to this. Therefore, these federal laws are prime. You know, maybe a lawyer could say it a lot better. I don't know. But let's go here with an example. When you join the military, you're coming from a state point of view, and then once you've been gone through the promenade, you become military issue, and now you have become federal. Now secondary is state, but now you are federal. And here's another example. If you're somewhere in Americana Pie, some city in Nebraska, and you want to